stuff that can be thrown away, I'll just put it right here. I wanted to kind of give like a life update while I do this laundry. So we are getting started with grabbing some dinner, honestly, from DoorDash. Today was a Friday when I started filming, and Chris had to work very, very late. If you aren't aware, he is an AC contractor, and so it is getting hot here in Florida, and when it gets hot, ACs break. It's just the way it goes. So he was working super late, and we will usually order out on a Friday. So this was the day, and I was really excited because I didn't want to cook. So we got some barbecue and it was really good. So I'm just cleaning the table off real quick, and then I'm going to set up all the food for the kids. I do like to sit with the kids. Sometimes I let them go and sit where they want, like not on the couch, but like kind of spread out. But I love sitting with my kids when it's just me. I mean, I like to sit with both of me and Chris, but especially when I'm alone, I really like to sit and just kind of linger a little bit and have conversations. So it's nice. So I ordered them their favorite foods, and that's what we did tonight. Come and go, so let this video is very chatty. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I hope you are interested in just sitting back, like hanging out with a girlfriend and talking while I'm going throughout my day. I don't always do videos like this, but I like to throw them in every so often. Dinner is over, and I'm just going to clean everything up real quick. I've got the older boys playing with Emma for a minute so I can clean up and then do some dishes real quick. I do really appreciate their help when it comes. They are older. In my mind, having such a huge age gap wasn't that big of a deal, but I will say, since I've had kids 3 years apart, I've had kids 19 months apart, and now I've had kids 8 years apart. I think it is better to have your kids super close together. Although when you're in the thick of it, it doesn't feel like that. I can vouch for that. I feel like I was living in a fog when my 3 youngest boys were babies, because they were all 19 to 21 months apart. And so that was hard. That was really, really hard. But one thing that I really took for granted, because I just didn't know, is how well they played with each other and they entertained each other. So the older two played while the new baby was there. And so with Emma, that was the one thing that I did not realize that was going to be a little bit of a challenge. And she's a mama's girl. She's a Velcro baby. So she always wanted to be with me, which she still does. And I love it. But it's not like she really can go and play with the boys too much. Every so often she does. But at this time, because they knew Dad wasn't coming home right away, they went out and did some bubbles with her, which was really, really nice. Finally see what we've always known, so let feel it grow. So I wanted to switch out our bar stools. Love the ones I have, but I love leather. I mentioned that before. Leather is the way to go when you have kids. It's just easy to clean. So I picked these out. It is a set of 3. These are the Benedict counter height stool, and this is the saddle brown. I think they are so beautiful and classy. It gives a modern yet sophisticated look to the kitchen, which I like that contrast to have the black and the brown. I think it's really beautiful. Everything was packaged so well, which was the first thing I noticed when I unboxed it all. I was really, really impressed. So I pulled everything out. The instructions were easy to read, and I got to putting everything together. It was a breeze. I did have my son help me just to give me an extra set of hands, so he was doing a stool while I was doing the other one, and it went by super fast. But you could just tell the craftsmanship was next level. This is a part of Wayfair's largest sale of the year. If you are interested, I will have all of the links in my description box. They are beautiful 360 swivel design, padded seat and back, easy to clean faux leather, and also has an extra footrest for added stability. These are beautiful. Check them out. I'll have all the information in my description box for you guys if you're interested. I am going to share in here. We're going to get rid of some stuff. I wanted to say real quick, often I get comments about, you declutter so much, how can you still have so much stuff? And I always will tell you guys, like, some things make the cut. That's how I use my little quotation. Some things make the cut, some things don't. I get rid of some things I'm ready to get rid of, and some things I don't. But I'm going to re-evaluate all of this stuff because I noticed I was trying to put things in here and it was getting stuck. So now it's time, if you have kids, or maybe you're a grandparent, I don't know. If you have kids in your life or around kids, you know how, like, things just pop in, right? So there's always going to be decluttering going on. There's always going to be stuff like that that needs to happen. And that's just a part of living life. But now I'm going to go through all the stuff and get rid of the things I don't need. And a random leaf. Okay. Alrighty, I'll put her right there. I got some activity books for the kids when they say, I'm bored. I'm like, oh, are you really? I had this for my phone. I no longer have this phone. Let's see what else we have. I'm really excited about this little sneak peek. And let's just get through here. So this is stuff like that I have for the kids when they don't need to be on their stuff. This is the EvoVax. That is the black vacuum in there. Still really like that vacuum. I've had a lot of robot vacuums over the years, and I would say I really like that one. But I think my favorite out of every one of them, and I've had like 4, I think my favorite might be the narwhal, the white narwhal, which I no longer have, and I'm very sad about it. That one is really good. Very, very good. Only thing that I run into is it does tangle. It's not supposed to, but it does tangle from time to time. That would be my only complaint with that. That's it. And then I have a little swatch thing for, I hope you can see me, for my curtains. I do 2 pages. Best curtains in the world. I keep a permanent link in my description box if you ever need them. Love 2 pages. I have more curtains I need to actually put up in my bedroom that I ordered. But I'm planning on doing like a whole bedroom makeover. So now here we have leashes, stuff that can be thrown away. I'll just put it right here. Remember, always write. What is this? Dog charger. Always write on things with a marker. These, like, this type of stuff. That way you know. So this will be the dog board. Got their electric hose for the fence. Don't need that. Don't need these. More electric hose. Manuals. Put that there. You can throw this color away. Put this in here. I like to put my manuals in these types of things. I get them from Amazon. I believe you can purchase these at the Dollar Tree now. Please don't quote me. Manuals for the things that I plan on. It's good to keep your manuals in one of these. It's easy. I need to write on front of here real quick. Do you ever go to spell things and then be like, I don't know how to spell? Manuals? That's the thing with autocorrect. Back in the day, Let's see. Back in the day, like you learned how to spell, now you have autocorrect, and it's like, what? AL. Keep everything. So one thing I don't like about these drawers, this is the Threshold, the Studio McGee, I think, or Threshold, McGee, Threshold, I don't know, from Target. Love these, but you have to be really careful. It doesn't hold a lot. I'll give this to the girls. Put it in there. This is all trash. These are really good to like hold your cords and stuff together. Decluttering doesn't have to be this like epic like thing. Once you declutter enough and you start getting the hang of it, it doesn't have to be like this, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like this, it is a life-changing thing when you get started. And it's something that will change your life as you continue. But it doesn't have to be this like show-stopping event all the time. It's just about going through your house. Oh, my husband's bugging me. About going through your house and being mindful of what is there and what you bring in and getting rid of the things that no longer serve you. So, and I think we all have to do that. So I've got some laundry to do, and I wanted to kind of give like a life update while I do this laundry. Oh, goodness gracious. So, last Wednesday, I started somatic therapy. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically, let me get the definition because I don't want to butcher it. Hey Siri, what is somatic therapy? Somatic therapy is a holistic therapeutic.
Here's an answer from goodtherapy.org and harvard.edu.
Somatic therapy is a holistic therapeutic approach that incorporates the person's mind, body, spirit, and emotions in the healing process. It explores how the body expresses painful experiences and applies mind-body healing to aid in trauma recovery. If you're anything like me, I'm a big feeler. And one thing I have said the most, the quote I have said the most in my life is, I was not made for this place. I was not made for this world. And that's something I wholeheartedly have always believed. I have always been someone who has felt things so intensely from my earliest memories. I could just feel things and read a room and read a person's expression without knowing them, without them even having to speak. I was the type of person that just picked up on all of that. And that's been really hard my entire life. I've also always been too much or too little for people, and I've been hurt a lot by people. And so because I love so deeply, however, it's not initial. I always keep people at an arm's length because I've been hurt so much. And I think that's normal for most people. On top of just normal life things, and you guys know, my mom was a single mom. Never had a dad in my life. Never even saw him like on the weekends or anything like that. Like for a very short period of time was he in my life. Then got married really young, 19, 20 years old. Had a baby. He was an addict. And I struggled with things before I had my kids. But there's a lot of history there. And I'm not scared to even talk about it. I do have a video on my channel from, gosh, probably 6 years ago where I talk about my previous life. My ex-husband, addiction, things that I've struggled with the addictions and things like that. Well, I don't really even like to say that I struggled because I was just like a typical wild teenager. When I turned 18, I just kind of went wild and had the time of my life. But as soon as I was becoming a mother, which is all I've ever wanted to do, everything changed for me. And that's okay. That's my story. It doesn't happen like that for everyone, and everyone has to be on their own journey, but there's a lot more into that. But so I've had a lot of healing to do, and I thought you had to have big T trauma to need healing and to need help. And I've learned recently that that's not the case at all. I did have quite a lot of bullying and alienation and abandonment in my life. So, those things you have to get help from. And as I've gotten older, I am realizing that taking medication, SSRIs are not going to fix it. They cannot be your magic pill. And after Liam, which was my third baby, my first child with Chris, I developed postpartum, but I didn't know what it was. I was just like, I don't feel right. I didn't know what postpartum depression was. And then I got pregnant with Josiah, and I've talked about this, and I'll just kind of glaze over it, but a doctor is the one who actually told me, he's like, you have postpartum. And I'm like, I absolutely don't. Thank you, that's not why I'm here. He said, you do. And so that started that journey. And then I got pregnant with just Noah unexpectedly. And it's just been I've always had anxiety my whole life. My earliest memories of me feeling homesick, like I would go spend the night at a friend's house, and then I would feel really sick in my stomach, and my mom would have to pick me up. And that's something that happened my entire life. I just thought that's what happened when you spent the night at people's houses, truthfully. Then I felt my first true anxiety attack when I was pregnant with Isabella. And then after she was born, it went into a rapid fire. So I got on medication after she was born. I was on it for a little while, and then had Drew, got pregnant with Drew, got back on some medication when I was going through my divorce. My doctor at the time encouraged it because it was a really messy ordeal. And stayed on that for a while. And then when I got pregnant with Liam, cold turkey went off of it. That has a whole other story with it. And needless to say, I have been kind of off and on medication like that. I hope that makes sense. Since I was 21 years old. But recently I've been on it for like 9 years. And I really felt like it wasn't doing a lot. I just knew that every month I felt like I would have these dips where I would want to call the doctor and be like, hey, something's wrong. I need help. And I didn't really know what it was. Well, it wasn't until after Emma that there were like new things. My worries weren't just worries anymore. I've always been have been like a worrisome type of person, but it was like next level. It was like keeping me awake at night. And through therapy and other things, they really did shed some light on some things. I did some EMDR, which I've talked about. I love it. You guys gotta look into EMDR if you haven't yet. And that helped a lot. Something I'm continuing to do. But I've quit for a long time, but I'm getting back into it. But I decided to wean down, and it took me about 2 years to get from 40 milligrams to 20 milligrams of what I was on, like a Celexa type citalopram. And that was no big deal. But from 20 to 15, the first week was kind of crappy. This was last year. I'm like, okay, and I balanced out after a month. Well, then I went to 15 to 10, and the first week was real crappy. The second week was real crappy. A month was real crappy. And then I'd have like little glimmers of good days, but overall I felt kind of like, eh. Then the cat died. My car was stolen in the same year. There's a lot going on. And I experienced my first real panic attack. I didn't even know what it was at the moment. I just thought maybe my blood sugar plummeted and I couldn't catch my breath. It wasn't until November 2nd, and I've talked about this, where I had the panic attack. My thing died, so I'm not going to go on my phone. So it exacerbated by being severely dehydrated and being sick, having some tummy issues, and got dehydrated, and it turned into a panic attack. And I'll tell you, since November 2nd, my life hasn't been the same. It has been hell. I have moments where I'm like, I feel like I'm healed, like that didn't even happen to me, and then it just comes roaring back. And the anxiety that I thought the citalopram wasn't really helping with, I learned very quickly that, oh, it has been helping. Not only has it been helping, I've had PMDD this whole time. That would explain why every single month I feel like I'm losing it. The week before my cycle, spoke to a physician, and she's like, oh yeah, that's what that is. Gave me some answers there, which I was so thankful for. But it's like, I've been struggling. So I was like, I just don't know what to do. And I don't like taking medications. I hate it. So after going back and forth, looking into getting my hormones aligned and fixed, and finally finding a doctor that I adore that helps with my hormones, and working with her and having someone on my side and to really listen to me. I feel like someone's advocating for me too. We stopped all progesterone, all estrogen, and she's like, we got to get you stable because I think the progesterone's making you really, really weepy. And so we did. And then the psychiatrist was like, let's put you on something else. And I was like, okay. So I cross-tapered, coming off of the citalopram more and adding Prozac. And after 3 weeks of that, I was like, this is bananas. We're going backwards. This is not what I want at all. I want to be able to heal my body, to heal my spirit and my mind, and get off all this medication. Not all these medications, because I don't take a lot, but this. I want to be able to be in clear mind. And I am, but I did notice when I weaned off the citalopram, each time I felt like I was really feeling things more intently again. And that was hard. Because then I realized all these years I've been kind of numbed out a little bit. I didn't know it. Not as reactive. And reactive in the sense, not with like my family, but like I could see things and it wouldn't take me down, Now, if I see something sad or emotional or someone's hurting, I'm like broken. I can't even continue. And they were like, yep, that's definitely a symptom. You've been like numbed out all these years. It's not a bad thing. But then I became ever aware that it was ever present that I have some healing that needs to be done. And so thankfully, I decided I'm not doing Prozac no more. Got off of that. I went back to my citalopram. I said, you know what? I'm going to get on this. I'm going to level out because I've been doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to do some deep diving and healing. And that's what I've been doing. I've been healing inner child stuff. I'm doing the somatic therapy. I'm doing the EMDR. I'm starting IFS. And one thing that I felt broken. I felt embarrassed and broken. And my therapist was like, do you know that every single person has trauma? Do you know that every single person needs therapy in some way, shape, or form? Everybody has something that we need to talk about. Some people just feel things more intently than other people, and that's okay. And I was like, well, I hate it. And she's like, yeah, but the world needs more people like you. And that really made me feel good. Not saying I'm like anything special, but she's like, if everybody in this world just went through life and they didn't feel things, those are the people who make changes. Those are the people who care the most. The world needs to have a good mix of those type of people. Because I kept saying, I'm just not made for this world. And she's like, I used to say the same thing, and it's not that. Technically, because I'm a believer, you're not made for this world. But it's something that you have to learn. You have to learn to adapt. And your feelings being intense isn't a bad thing. You just have to learn to work with them. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm learning. I've always been a highly sensitive person, very empathetic. And she's like, you have to learn how to work with that. I have always criticized myself for being the way I am. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm not even going to go down the list. But it was really nice to have someone who cared enough to say, there's nothing wrong with you. You've been through a lot of things. You have some work to do. We all have work to do. And I'm going to join you on this journey, and we're going to get this figured out. And you're not broken because you care deeply about things. And that was really nice to hear. Really nice. So my life update is I started somatic therapy, and I'm really excited to share it with you all. I'm really excited to dig deep and to listen to what my body's trying to tell me, because I've heard from so many people that the anxiety, or we can call it alarm, it's just your body stuck in fight or flight. Your body's stuck in this hypervigilance and this state, and you have to learn how to get out of it. And I don't know how to get out of it. I've always been a people pleaser. I've always tried to make everybody happy. I've always tried to put everyone's needs above my own. I've never been the main character in my own story. And I just thought something was wrong with me. But it's really nice to know that I'm not alone. And there's like hope. You know what I mean? I have hope. I have hope that I'm going to be able to get this stuff out, and to be able to pay attention to the things that bring emotion inside of me, and to actually have a proper way of handling it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's been a lot. It's crazy. I remember in the beginning, I used to pray like, Lord, just search me and, work out anything in me and help work through things that I have. I just want to be a better human for other people and to have a better life. And he really has revealed a lot in me. So that is what I've been doing lately. And I'm really excited. The anxiety's not gone. I am definitely learning how to manage it now, instead of fighting it. As soon as I start to feel an attack come on or anxiety come on, instead of like me freaking out, I don't freak out. I just say, okay, you're safe, girl, you're safe, you're good, you're gonna be okay, you're safe. Make sure my kid isn't walking in. And the attacks aren't as severe. I deal with derealization really bad when I have anxiety attacks, and that's the most scary symptom. I don't know if you deal with that, but it's like everything feels fake. Everything feels like I'm in a movie or something, like I'm not there, and I hate that feeling. It lasts for just a second, but I hate that feeling. And then my stomach starts to hurt, and basically it's your brain's way of protecting itself. Let me just hide those, sorry. Your brain's way of protecting itself. But I think it's important that we talk about these things so no one suffers in silence. Unless you've witnessed it or you experience it, it's not very easy to understand. But if you have witnessed it and you have experienced it, it is nice to know that you're not alone and that there's hope. And I really feel like I have found hope. Check out the Mel Robbins podcast with Dr. Russell Kennedy. I've read his book twice. I talk about him all the time on my Instagram. Mind-blowing. And then, I've shared Dr. Tracy Marks. Dr. Tracy Marks, love her. Emma Watson, I think that's her last name. Not Watson. Emma Watts? I don't know. From Therapy in a Nutshell, love her. And then I'm reading a book now about somatic therapy. But I'm excited to start my healing journey. I'm excited to be the best version of myself. Finally. Midlife. Finally. And I think as long as we keep trying to be better versions of ourselves, we can do it as many times if we need to, because that's what life's all about. So I'm going to put these clothes away and do more stuff tomorrow. Here is our driveway. I hate the red paint. I really do. It's chipped, and we're trying to get it off, and it's been really, really difficult. So, I don't know. We're just going to keep working at it as much as possible. If you have any expertise on how to get the paint off the concrete, please let me know. I've been watching some shorts and some videos. It's going to be a process. It's definitely, and we are DIY people if we can be. Two things. I know this video has been really chatty. It's not everybody's cup of tea. If you're new and this is your first video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want more music and upbeat, check out my other videos. I think you might like those. But here is the next section. Kind of bad because this video has been all over the place. It has not been... I just was struggling to get things done, and I'm really sorry. We got a new leadership, I guess you would say, for the HOA, and we have to basically get rid of our shed. Paint the house. All these things we were going to do anyway, except for get rid of the shed. I've been trying to pressure wash the driveway and get the paint off. Can't get the paint off. So we got to figure something out. I have people coming to pick up the pavers in the back. We have a lot of work to do. It looks way better than it did when we bought it, but now that we have new leadership, I don't know. It just is a reminder why I don't like living in a place with an HOA. But it is what it is. So I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. It was very, very realistic. I am eating my Too Good, this was called TOO Good yogurt, 2 grams of sugar, a ton of protein, strawberry. I mix a low sugar granola in it with flaxseed, blueberries. Then I do Honeycrisp apples, large walnuts, and a drizzle of honey because I can't stand normal yogurt. Yep, I can't stand it, and I hate Greek yogurt, but adding a little honey, so good. So I've been eating this every day, trying to be really, really mindful. I wasn't feeling good today. And that's another reason why I've been slow this week. I feel like since I got COVID too, I cannot snap out of the fatigue. I cannot. It's been so hard. So I'll do better. My next video will be a lot better, and I'm really sorry if this one was all over the place, but forgive me. Check out Wayfair. Today's the last day, but they usually will keep letting it go on and on. It's getting really loud in my house, and now I have to finish cleaning the backyard. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is real life. Love y'all. Bye.